Nature is an invaluable treasure as well as one of our most vicious enemies. Because our Earth is fragile and massive, there is instability all around us that can't be prevented even with the best technology. Here are the worst natural disasters in recent history. Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami. On December 26, 2004, an earthquake with a magnitude of over 9.1 hit the area of Sumatra, Indonesia. The undersea quake set off a series of deadly tsunamis onto the coast of countries that border the Indian Ocean. It is considered to be one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history, as over 280,000 people were killed in 14 different countries. The earthquake also lasted between 8 to 10 minutes, making it one of the longest earthquakes and the third largest earthquake in the world. People all over the world contributed over $14 billion in humanitarian efforts. Not only was local architecture devastated, if not destroyed, but the ecosystem and natural makeup of the area was also devastated, as rock formations were recreated and coral areas were destroyed, affecting local fish life. Damage from the earthquake and tsunami are still felt in countries like Thailand and the Maldives. Haiti earthquake. On January 12, 2010, Haiti was hit with a magnitude 7 earthquake. About 3 million people were affected by the earthquake, and the death toll is between 100,000 and 160,000. Although a final number couldn't be confirmed, given how many people went missing. People were left homeless and hospitals were unusable because of the extensive damage. Even to this day, Haiti is still rebuilding, and parts of the country are now considered to be cities of ruins. Sichuan earthquake. On May 12, 2008, the province of Sichuan, China experienced an earthquake with a magnitude of 8.0. 70,000 people were killed and nearly 20,000 people ended up missing. About 4.8 million people were also left homeless. Towns were practically decimated, and the impact of the earthquake was so strong that even neighboring countries felt the tremors. If that wasn't bad enough, there were around 100 aftershocks that ranged from 4.0 to 6.1 in magnitude, thus slowing down relief efforts. Cyclone Nargis. In May 2008, Cyclone Nargis hit Myanmar in Southeast Asia and caused the worst natural disaster in the history of the country. The cyclone made landfall on May 2nd and caused catastrophic destruction, taking the lives of 138,000 people and costing about $10 billion in damages. To prevent political fallout after the 138,000 casualties were reported, the country stopped keeping count, so there could very well be more casualties that the world will never know about. Just 10 days after the cyclone, China was hit with the Sichuan earthquake. Kashmir earthquake. On October 8, 2005, an earthquake with a magnitude of 7.6 hit the area of Muzaffarabad, the capital of Kashmir. Over 100,000 people were killed, and there were virtually no buildings still standing where police and hospitals could help their citizens. Over 138,000 people were injured, and 3.5 million people were left homeless. Over 250,000 farm animals died when their stone barn collapsed, and over 500,000 large farm animals had to find alternative shelter. Northern Hemisphere heat wave. In 2010, a heat wave began in July and went on through September that affected countries like Russia and Japan. Temperatures were reaching over 95 degrees Fahrenheit, resulting in the hottest summer in history. A drought soon followed, which resulted in over 54 wildfires and crop failure. Deaths from the heat in Moscow averaged 700 per day. Europe saw about 70,000 people die from the heat. The Japanese economy suffered a $15 billion loss from the crop failure and had the highest loss of life, with over 1,700 people dying of heat stroke. Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. On March 11, 2011, Japan was hit with a magnitude 9 earthquake, the most powerful earthquake to hit Japan and the fourth most powerful earthquake in the world. Like any earthquake, what followed was just as devastating. Over 127,000 buildings collapsed and 4.4 million people were left without electricity. A tsunami soon followed that nearly destroyed Japan's northern islands. Luckily, warnings were issued and many people were able to evacuate. Sadly, however, nearly 16,000 people died, with thousands injured or missing. Typhoon Haiyan. Typhoon Haiyan, or Typhoon Yolanda, was one of the strongest tropical cyclones ever recorded and primarily affected Southeast Asia and the Philippines. The storm hit in November of 2013 and killed around 10,000 people. In January 2014, months after the storm hit, bodies were still being found. It was the deadliest typhoon to have ever hit the Philippines, and many cities were placed in an official state of emergency. Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina is not only known as one of the costliest hurricanes in history, but it was also one of the deadliest in the history of the United States. It was a Category 5 major hurricane and the third deadliest cyclone to hit U.S. soil. The storm nearly flattened the city of New Orleans, Louisiana in 2005, and at least 1,245 people died during the storm and floods, with nearly 1,000 people going missing. To this day, the official death count has yet to be confirmed, but researchers believe that the death toll is actually closer to 1,900. Countless people lost their homes and their livelihood, with families still trying to find each other. Rio de Janeiro mudslide. Between January 11th and 12th, 2011, Rio de Janeiro experienced a month's worth of rainfall in a 24-hour period. The storm resulted in widespread flooding almost immediately, and if that wasn't bad enough, mudslides and landslides soon followed. This natural disaster, one of Brazil's worst, caused extensive damage to the region and claimed over 900 lives. Black Saturday bushfires. One of Australia's worst bushfire disasters happened in February 2009. The fires occurred during extreme bushfire weather conditions, and over 400 fires were recorded, resulting in a burnt area of 4,500 square kilometers or 1.1 million acres. The fires resulted in over 414 people being injured and 173 people killed, which was Australia's highest loss of life from bushfires. The day became known as Black Saturday in Australia. Our thoughts and hearts are with all those who were affected by these natural disasters. Stay safe, and thank you for watching.